Snow, adrenaline, and then two throws that turned a Bengals win into a season-defining gut punch. For 3 quarters in Buffalo, Joe Burrow looked like the guy you expect to show up in a storm. Calm, accurate, ice in his veins. The elements weren't the story. The way he carved the Bills' defense up was. He hit tight window throws, he hit boundary throws, and he kept Cincinnati in front deep into the fourth quarter. Then, in the blink of an eye, the script flipped. Burrow's masterpiece earlier in the game was textbook stuff, a perfectly placed corner pocket dime to T. Higgins for a touchdown. The kind of catch that makes announcers say toe tapper, hold on, put the Bengals up, and set the tone. Mike Gesicki and Chase Brown each turned routine sequences into highlight reel moments. Burrow placing the ball where only his guy could finish it, even while rushers crept in. That was the Burrow we've paid to see. Surgical in the pocket and deadly on timing. But Buffalo didn't just stand there. Josh Allen answered with his own brand of violence. A patient 12-play drive finished by a tight window strike to Khalil Shakir, and later a 40-yard scramble that looked like a cheat code in snowy conditions. Allen's mobility and the Bills' timing made them impossible to ignore. Still, Cincinnati carried the lead into the late window because Burrow and the offense were doing their jobs. And then it all unraveled, late and quick. With the Bengals clinging to the lead, a short pass intended to keep momentum turned into a highlight for the Bills' secondary. Christian Benford nabbed it and took it all the way back for a touchdown. That wasn't just a turnover. It was a sudden lead swap and the kind of explosion that changes locker room energy in a second. Burrow had time to respond. Instead, his next attempt slipped through for yet another interception. 2 picks in roughly the same sequence, and suddenly the cozy narrative of Burrow versus the Blizzard became a horror show of timing and ball security. The Bills pounced, converting the sudden swing into more points, going for it on 4th down and forcing Cincinnati to play from behind in a hostile, snow-laced environment. A late Burrow to Higgins touchdown added some theatricality, a reminder that Burrow can close drives, but Josh Allen's resilience finished the job. On a crucial 3rd and 15, Allen scrambled for 17 yards to seal it, and Buffalo walked off with a 39-34 win, while Cincinnati's season ledger slid to 4-9. Here's the blunt takeaway. Burrow's 4-touchdown day still had 2 game-sinking errors. Good quarterbacks give their teams a chance. Elite quarterbacks minimize the "I can't believe he just did that" moments. You can torch a defense all afternoon, but a pair of late turnovers, especially in adverse conditions against a quarterback who can hurt you with his legs, will cost you more often than not. From a schematic view, the Bills adjusted as the game went on. They mixed coverages to bait quick throws, disguised pressure until the last second, and relied on Josh Allen's playmaking when the offense needed a jolt. Cincinnati's protection held long enough for Burrow to work, but the timing windows that made the early throws possible got tighter when the Bills' DBs started sitting on routes and taking away the short options. That forced Burrow to squeeze throws, and one squeezed ball became a pick six. There's also a weather factor. Snow doesn't excuse mistakes, it amplifies them. Footing, ball security, and receiver timing all get frayed, which makes late-game precision even more valuable. Allen's scramble yards became a decisive weapon in that environment. Burrow's 2 INT swing became a death knell. What this loss does to Cincinnati isn't just another L in the column. It makes the final stretch steeper. A 4-9 record isn't mathematically buried, but it shifts expectations from still in the hunt to figure out the winter. The offense still looks explosive when it's clicking. The floor is that a few bad throws change seasons. For Burrow personally, it's a reminder that the margin for error in December is microscopic. For Buffalo, this game was textbook resiliency. They turned momentum with a defensive touchdown.